Termites! What's happening out there? Look! I have my t-shirt too. We sold out really fast. Thank you. I didn't, did you like, I know, I read all the comments. Sometimes I answer, sometimes on my phone it's hard to answer YouTube. I don't know why. But anyway, I saw that you guys like they're soft. They're super soft. Super soft. Nothing I hate more than what? A crunchy bar t-shirt. It's night 89. By the way, you can order more of these. There was a pre-order deal. I don't know, go to the website. The guys have ordered more because, I don't know, I just ordered whatever amount thinking that'd be enough, and then shockingly, they sold out. So, what are we drinking? Jack Daniels, but looky here, Eric Church. It's a special one my friend Neil got me. Just a little sip at night, delicious. It's September, night 89. Who thought? We're almost done too. I predict 94 nights it's gonna take to get through this book. And then we're gonna move on. I'm not quitting, ever. Well, maybe back when I'm on the road, I can't do as many because it's hard. But as far as now, there's no road. I check in with the agents. Nothing's going on. Bill Engvall's going to try someplace in Salt Lake. We'll see how that goes. Maybe he's going to be the leader. Bill Engvall, leader of all people. The drive-in shows, but I don't know. I think I would get distracted with people honking and lights flashing. And plus, it's going to get cold, so I'm just going to skip that part and leave that up to Bert Kreischer and the wild children, as we would say. All right, well, back to Tanya. And I hope you like your shirts, and thank you for buying them. And September's a great month because it's my birthday month. And what does it mean? Football? Yes. It was a great Sunday. And I might do fantasy football. I finally have the time. I do a pool, family pool, but I might do fantasy too. I don't know. Depends on how hard it is on the phone. All right. Back to Tanya. She's had her baby. Remember? With that man, Ben. Ben and Presley and the rest of the family were at the hospital when Beau was born at 1:07 p.m. the next afternoon. Even though Ben wasn't present when his son was being born, he came into the delivery room right after the birth and was the first one to hold him. After my family left, I was lying in bed watching the CMA show, still groggy, when suddenly there's Roy Rogers and Clint Black on the screen, and Clint's announcing to the world that I've had my baby and named him Beau Grayson in honor of my dad. Who was Clint going to tell? Everybody. Daddy says he almost fell off the couch. I hadn't told him yet, and he just couldn't believe it. Juanita, he said, did you hear that? Tanya's named the boy after me. Mom says she almost cried when she saw the look on Daddy's face. Ben almost cried too and fell off the couch. Ben almost cried and fell off the couch too. It's a Southern thing, calling your dad Daddy till you're like 100. We don't. Midwest people know. It's Dad, Jack, Jackalope, Deffy. Sometimes I call him Deffy. Frank. So I don't know why, and our family will never get over this. One year when my youngest brother was like 16, more than once, his name is Patrick, and my dad looked at him and just stupid, whatever the sentence was insignificant. It was the fact that he'd go, Frank, have you seen the remote control? Looked right at it, and I go, are you like one of these Lifetime people? Do you have a family out in some other suburb and you have a son named Frank? So I don't know. That's what started it all. It was very strange. And maybe he still does. Is there a Frank Madigan out there somewhere? And so now we call each other Frank. So sometimes I call my dad Frank. What's up, Frank? And then he says, bye, Frank. All right. Later, when they announced my name as the 19th, wait, no, I wanted to go, I already read that part. Okay. This is when, she is telling, she wants to stay off the road a little bit more because I'm skipping over parts that I think I already read. I kept telling my daddy, I need to come off the road for a while. I don't want to miss a minute of these years with my babies. He kept saying, we'll work it out. Right now, you got to earn the money to support those babies. Now, see what I mean? How much money has this lady made by this point? And she's what? Probably 14. I'm kidding. She's like 32 at this point. She's made shitloads of money, and he keeps buying bigger ranches. And, well, you know what? Who's going to pay for that shit? She's got to get back out on the road, especially because she's not writing these songs. That's where money's at. That's why Dolly's so rich. But Tanya ain't doing that. She's just performing them. That means you got to get your ass out there and do more shows. We had an offer we couldn't refuse in 92. Black Velvet approached Dad about me becoming the new Black Velvet lady and was going on an extended tour sponsored by the liquor company. See, comedians never get sponsors. I don't know why. Maybe they're afraid we'll say weird things. Bad things? Offensive things? Probably all possible. But you'd think somebody would step up, like a liquor company, right? Dad was very concerned about this business arrangement since I was known to drink more liquor than my share from time to time. I wasn't one of the first choices. Actually, Black Velvet, I don't even know what this is. What is Black Velvet? I gotta see what that is. Actually, Black Velvet considered approaching Alan Jackson about being a Black Velvet guy for a time. They finally decided not to break tradition and keep the Black Velvet lady theme. But when my name came up, the company questioned the fact that I wasn't always known for moderation when it came to a party. Well, because that's why you make this a party. This is a lady that's willing to drink 50 times more than normal people, and you can't find a way to make that good? Well, then you're a shitty liquor company, because you got to bring the party to the people. And she's willing to do it. Normally, you wouldn't get somebody that would be all in like that. By the time they approached us, the company decided my reputation wouldn't be detrimental to their image. Right. And after talking with the company executives, Dad decided the liquor company wouldn't be detrimental to mine. Right. What that means is the company offered him enough money to take the chance. What interested me was the company's plan to use this tour to raise money for multiple sclerosis. What? Dixie Pineda, a Dallas PR executive who worked with Black Velvet, told me later that the company tried to come up with a charity that didn't get as much attention as some others did, as well as something that women in my age bracket would relate to. Donna Fargo, one of the women I admire most in country music, was diagnosed with MS a few years ago. I think, you know who else has it? Terry Garr. You remember the actress Terry Garr? I believe she has MS. In addition to admiring her as a writer-artist, I thought she showed unbelievable courage about having multiple sclerosis. She's an inspiration to anyone with a potentially debilitating condition because she has to keep a positive attitude. She seems to be winning her battle against MS, or at least staying even. She's still out there performing, too. Donna Fargo. I don't know. I got to look that up, too. I began a series of meetings with Black Velvet, and we talked about how best way to raise money for MS. One of the ideas I liked was a dance contest for amateur two-steppers. Thus was born the Smooth Steppin' Black Velvet Showdown, a series of regional dance contests that culminated in one national competition. Patsy Swayze, not Patrick, Patsy Swayze was selected as spokeswoman for the dance competition. Patsy is not only a nationally known dance choreographer, but the mother of Patrick Swayze. She's one of the ones who taught him to dance, for you dirty dancing fans. And if you ever wonder how Patrick kept his head on straight right after the Sexiest Man Alive talk that followed Dirty Dancing, I heard that one of the first things Patsy did was to sit her son down at the table and remind him there was no room for stars in this family, just professionals. You gotta love that attitude. So I was off on the Black Velvet Lady Tour, which meant I'd play over 250 dates over the next year. If I had any hopes of taking some time off to be with my kids, that'd have to be put on hold. Well, take them with you. They're little. Throw them on the bus. Everybody else does. Yet another business opportunity presented itself in 1992. A friend of mine named Tony Carnicello brought some Mexican salsa to my house, and it was wonderful. I'm very particular about Mexican food, so when it passed the Tanya test, it meant something. TC and I started experimenting with it, adding ingredients, fine-tuning the recipe, and finally we decided to try to market it. We enlisted the aid of my dad and started our new company. Oh my God. Now it's salsa? I'm going to make a hot sauce. That's what I'm going to do, because I'm really into hot sauces. And there's a whole store of them in Charleston. It's called the Pepper Palace. And it's really heaven. I don't even know how to make a hot sauce, but God knows I have plenty of time to Google that. Salsa and liquor. Oh my God. The first thing I wanted to ensure was that this was just not some celebrity endorsement situation where I didn't have any say-so. I knew a lot of celebrity food lines didn't make it, and I wonder if it's because they got distance from what they were selling. So I told Dad I wanted to be involved in everything, including any changes in the recipe that might be considered. If I was going to do this, I wanted to be a real player in the grocery market with a full line of products developed in the coming years. Oh my God, these things, I would say no. You're a singer. You're not a salsa maker. What are people thinking? It took a couple years. But the Tanya Tucker salsa became one of my ideas that not only happened, but succeeded. Okay, I'm wrong. We're now in over 20 states. I'm not even going to say about once you get into a state. With our biggest sales coming from markets like Denver, Phoenix, Dallas, Fort Worth, of course, Dad doesn't like to free up available cash to do the big marketing like I'd like. So it's growing a little slower than it might. I'm going to have to go Google Tanya Tucker salsa and see how long that lasted. And you'll see me promoting the devil out of it at various events, but it's growing every day. My goal is to be able to make money while I sleep. Wow. I never thought about, well, I guess I did. The only thing I've ever thought that I could do while I was sleeping was gamble, because I found out you can do that in Las Vegas. You can go bet on say 50 games of Keno and then go to bed. And then while you were sleeping, you've played. How about that? Then you turn on your television in your room, and it'll go back in time, if you want, like a computer, to the game where you went to sleep, and you can check all your things. There's a little gambling tip for everybody. I really miss gambling. Really. And I know some casinos are open, but it doesn't seem as much fun. Like without, I don't know, being able to sit at the bar and play video poker and drink and I don't know. Maybe I'll try. Anyway. The fact that my entire family's livelihood depends on my ability to go out there and work the road scares me. It should. It's ridiculous. I'd like to own companies that generate income whether I'm standing on a stage with a microphone in my hand or not. Me too. I'm going to start on my hot sauce right away. I've been inspired. Another thing that caught my attention that year involved an unplanned encounter with an old Beau on the road. I was in Branson for a summer that show, and one of my performances coincided with one of Glen Campbell's. Known as who? The teeth knocker outer. That's what I call him. I decided to drop by his dressing room and say hello. He almost dropped his teeth when he saw me. She doesn't even see the irony in that sentence. Or the writer didn't. And I could tell you, how about your teeth? Jesus, listen, I've had so much dental work and I have implants and all this. If anybody knocked one of my teeth out, you probably couldn't do anything worse to me because they're so expensive and it was such a long road of horseshit to get these teeth looking, well, the front look fine. They're like, they're good for show, but they don't really function as teeth. I would kill somebody if they fucked up my teeth. Anything else, you could break my arm before you did that, not the teeth. He almost dropped his teeth when he saw me, but I could tell he was a little uncomfortable. But we talked about a little about our tour schedule, our families, and well, who knows, maybe the weather. It wasn't exactly an intimate conversation. You know, like, hey, remember when you knocked my teeth out and I had to crawl around on carpet to find them? Nope, that's not in here. He did mention that his daughter Debbie was with him and wanted to see my show. I immediately got butterflies in my stomach, not because of any lust for Glenn, but because he'd been out there watching my show. No matter what happened between us, he's one great performer. He's one great performer, and I would never want to see him do anything less than a great show. Glenn's autobiography was at the publishers. And he didn't say a word about it. He didn't say a word to me about it. I wish he'd given me a hint that it was coming and I was portrayed as such a jerk. All he would have had to say was, look, T, I've got this book coming out and neither one of us come off looking very good. But he didn't tell me anything about it. He just said he was anxious to see my show. You watch, I told my assistant, I'm going to go out there and kick butt. I did too. I kicked so much butt on that stage that the spaghetti strap of my dress broke. Luckily, the dress had a built-in bra that held it up. After the show, Glenn's daughter saw my assistant and told her what Glenn had to say about it. He leaned over to her and said, do you have a safety pin? Because she didn't. She said she didn't. He said, too bad, because if you did, I'd go up there and pin that strap back myself. Well, you know what? Maybe nobody invited you on stage, Glenn. Does that come through your mind? Maybe somebody wouldn't want me interrupting their performances. I've never gone on stage without someone knowing I'm going out there. I wouldn't, it's freakish. Because as a performer, you're not used to, well, maybe band people are, but as comedians, there should be no one else on that stage. And then if you see somebody, then I think I'm having a stroke or it's a ghost. Both not good, not positive. You should ask before you do that. I suppose in a lifetime that's an insignificant incident, but any of you divorced women out there will understand the smirk I had on my face when I heard that's what had been said. We weren't ever married, but the split messed me up like a bad divorce anyway. If the Glen Campbell split didn't scare me about marriage, Shirley and Royce Porter's divorce sure did. Shirley started asking me to come out to the lake house when Royce was away for days at a time, writing songs or fishing with the guys. She said she was feeling more and more isolated from him and feared that the things that had made their marriage good, like trust and commitment, were rapidly fading. I was about the only one she could talk to. We were out on the boat one time and Royce was off on a riding binge and he said, I can't talk to people like Hank Cochran about what's going on. He'd just sit down and turn my concerns into a cliche hook line for his next country song. That's all it would mean. Oh, God. She supported him while he wrote songs. And then she ended up offering her a job. In August of 1992, Shirley went to Fort Worth to visit a friend, and while she was there, she met a guy she said seemed awfully nice. She hadn't gone out with him, though, but she said she might be a little interested. By the time she called me for her new potential interest, I was embroiled in a very strange media confrontation with the Vice President of the United States. What? Tanya, what have you done? We're so close to being finished, Termites, and we'll move on. I'd say there's maybe, depends on how much I talk off topic. 1, 2, 3, 4 or 5. Depending on how much I yak. What else? That's all I got for right now, Termites. Thanks for sticking with me. More t-shirts on the way. This is like a extra large or a large. This is a large. I did take note of how many 3 times are out there. And a lot of you chubby termites have, in a very bold manner, admitted you got a little chubby during quarantine. And I'm here to tell you there's nothing wrong with that. That means you stayed home. That means you're healthy. You might be chubby, but you're alive. You can always take the chub off. If you want to get going in the fall, go for a walk maybe. A run. Don't run. Don't run. Walk. It's bad for your knees. Everybody I know that runs by 60, they have to have a new knee. Guess what this lady's not doing at 60? Getting a new knee. Not running. I'm so short I don't go anywhere even if I do run. It's the same as a tall person walking. It's just stupid. All right, termites. That's it. You got your sheet? It's the perfect sleeping temperature. Open a window. Yeah. Except for you California termites. I'm so sorry to see what's going on out there. I have friends out there. I'm getting pictures and text, and you can't really be opening your windows because of the fire stuff. And Oregon, it's all awful. It's terrible to see. So you California, Oregon termites, stay safe if you can. And the rest of you termites, Twinkie made a new cereal. You can hear more about that on my podcast. What? Madigan's Pubcast! Wherever you get podcasts, it's also on YouTube. All right. That's it, termites. Get your sheet. Get your favorite pillow. Snuggle in. Maybe watch Wild Wild Country on Netflix. You'll like it. Maybe watch Class Action Park documentary, Netflix. All right, ready? Are we ready? Close your eyes. Night-night, termites.